welcome back to the Kicking It podcast, where we keep you informed on all things football. So on today's show, we are going to talk about Tottenham v Manchester City, talk about Liverpool versus Burnley and Manchester City which team did they play? Norwich. And also we are going to ask the simple question between De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes and Mohamed Salah. Who's the better or the best player, and who is the most overrated player among all three? So we are going to start with introduction. I'm your host, Sospita. I'm an Arsenal fan.
I'm Wilson Keheka, a Chelsea Football Club fan.
I'm Ian, Tottenham fan.
Ted, Arsenal, Chelsea, an Arsenal fan.
I'm James Diogo Degi, Liverpool and debut specialist in the podcast.
Yeah, let's start with Tottenham, Manchester City. And let's start with Ian.
Yeah.
The last podcast you said it was assured that you as Tottenham you'd lose to City. And can you tell us what did you do better than you expected that led to the win?
Actually, I was surprised when I watched the game. The team actually adapted without Harry Kane, playing with 3 forwards, 4-3-3. The coach motivated the players to play to adapt playing without Harry Kane, and so the wingers were fast, and so we played a good game. Yeah. And so we won because we played a good game. We were the better team.
You're better on the day,
yeah.
Or the City that you saw play this week against Norwich, if that was the City that turned up.
We were better for the day because maybe the players wanted to show Harry Kane to prove a point to City fans that they can do without Harry Kane. So that was a motivating factor to the players.
So since City are title challengers and you have beaten them, are you title challengers?
Last season we beat them and we were not title challengers. And last season we beat them also. So it's an achievement for me beating City. The league can end today and I'll be contented with what we have for now. Yes.
Okay, but let's talk this Harry Kane issue. Yeah. First of all, is Harry Kane worth 100 million at 28?
Yeah, he's worth with the ability he has, he's worth 100 million. And for now, according to the game that we played last week, I can say the club now can have a go ahead and sell him and invest in other areas in the club, in the squad.
Other areas that
like defense, and a creative midfielder and maybe a winger. Yeah. But we do for a striker. No, it's not a good time to acquire a striker. Yeah.
I believe your optimism is misplaced because Tottenham, for I think a couple of seasons ago, in the season which they played Liverpool in the UEFA Champions League final. For the longest period they had, Harry Kane was injured, I think from around March or something.
Yeah.
He even missed the games versus Ajax. And in that game, even versus Man City actually, the one which they beat him in the semis. Yeah. But now they were playing well on it's not consistent. They weren't consistent because in the league they were saying they're missing Harry Kane because of injury. But in the Champions League they were actually unpredictable and actually knocked out Man City. So I don't think it's as easy to know if you're in a good position to sell Kane. But if you sell him, you may survive. But unaweza kuwa chini, lazima kweli sana.
Pata kichapo.
Yeah, so also Harry Kane, does he have a right to demand to leave Tottenham? Yet Harry Kane himself, in his wisdom, I'll call it his wisdom, signed a 6-year deal with Tottenham in 2018. World-class player, 6 years contract, and you want to win trophies, and you have been at a club that for luck, for even if it will sound like I'm bantering them, have not been winning anything. And you're a world class striker. 6 years contract. Does he have a right to demand to leave?
Well, when he signed the contract, I think Mourinho was the manager.
No, Pochettino is the manager.
Pochettino.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah, the football at the Pochettino in Tottenham was good. I think there was something they were building. So I think he was buying the idea that there's something that this coach can bring us to. If he took them even to the finals, in as much as yes they have the problem with winning finals, but you can see there's an identity in how they play, and he believed the coach could do something. So he wanted to commit to the coach's ideas, but unfortunately now the coach left, getting old, and he doesn't have silverware for the club. He wants to be a legend, but sometimes you can't really be a club legend without a trophy. And I mean, if it's guaranteed, if you're going to City, you'll earn your trophy, then ask for a leave. Because, what's the use of the great Hurricane who didn't win anything, So I understand his frustrations. Pochettino is out, Mourinho is out, a new manager, dressing room problems as well. I understand he wants to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I concur with what my Arsenal friend is talking about, because 3 years ago, I think the issue that has been with Tottenham is that they were building something. Literally, they were building a stadium, while clubs like Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City and Manchester United were building squads and winning trophies. So I think that's when Hurricane thought the building, he wants to be part of that build-up. But as truth be told, 3 years down the line, we are prone to change, and demanding 100 million or actually leaving is a right move for him, because if as Roman is ready to take Haaland with 150, I believe Kane is around 130, 140, as in he's a clinical finisher. It's no doubt he can be in the game for 70 minutes, but when he gets that chance, it's a goal.
Yeah. But top player, I think there was a discussion that was happening that Kane is managed by his brother. Yeah? Because which top player, okay, let's say, signed 6-year contract that I want to stay at this club, commitment. But which professional player will not put a release clause in that contract? You understand? Like, his management is wrong, so I don't get. See, Daniel Levy is right in just demanding his stay, because the contract is between you and me, and you signed it knowing the clause that there was no release clause. So if you tell us there's a gentleman's agreement, who cares? You are contractually obligated to play for Tottenham. So if I decide I don't want to sell you, what avenues can you have for recourse? Yet you're the one who signed and did not put as a release clause. Yeah.
Okay, I think on the release clause, I'm sure that Daniel Levy tailored that contract not to have a release clause. And regarding committing a contract, okay, we've had so many cases where people sign a contract and demand to leave the next season. Even Coutinho in Liverpool, he signed a contract, I think a 5-year contract. Suarez at Liverpool, because when you sign a contract, you're signing it so that maybe you have 3 years left. That's actually when most of the negotiations begin.
Yeah.
Because if it gets under 2 years, it means the next season you either sell him cheap on a cheap, or he'll leave the other year, like Mbappe's situation.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame professionalism on that, because he saw the vision of the club, and now the club is, I can't say in shambles, but it's been rearranged per se. And he can't demand to leave, but he can try pushing a move out of the club. I don't know if Levy can be bought out. I'm not so sure about that, but 100 may be quite steep.
Yeah, because still his age is playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let's say his active years might be between now and up to 33.
Yeah.
33, so somebody might say, yeah, we might wait. We see if we are going to continue to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if Daniel Levy also has the problem of being a tough person to negotiate with. So in your view, in your point of view, next week, Wednesday, Hurricane done deal to Man City or Hurricane Tottenham Hotspur until next season.
I think he's staying. He wants to leave, but it's a want. He needs to stay, according to the negotiator. I think he stays.
Unless Man City are willing to pay 150 million for Hurricane at 28. And you can pay 150 million for Haaland at 20, at 21, at Dortmund. It doesn't make any financial sense from City's perspective. And I've heard they've already bid on 25, so even me, I believe he's going to stay at Tottenham. And the next season, I think Levy will just let him leave. But City will not be suitors by then, I assume. Yes.
But don't you think, assuming you're Levy, okay, you have Ken,
No.
and you're sure this is like a one chance to earn this amount from Ken? Don't you think it will reach a point where they'll actually give in? He's getting old. I mean, you can get that money. There's the team that is currently there is still performing or can reinforce in some areas. And then during the summer, January, probably the next summer, they buy a top profile striker and continue with the rebuild. Like, use that money, yes, because it's a once in a lifetime moment. I don't know if Ken will be bid for again with such an amount again. So, in my opinion, I think they might accept in the end. Because they're also looking for targets in those areas at the moment.
Yeah, but before Chelsea bought Lukaku, I would have believed he was going because Tottenham had bid for Lautaro over 70 million. But since I don't think Inter will sell Lautaro now that Lukaku is gone, so now that is where there's mismatch, because who can Tottenham buy to replace? Because once they get 100 million from City, there's nobody that is selling their top striker at 50 million. It goes up because they know you have the money for it. Yeah, so I believe he's going to stay, but next season he will be willing to go. I think he'll most probably go. And let's talk about the team that was beaten, Manchester City. Is it in doubt that they are title challengers? Are City title challengers?
It's obvious.
Yes, yeah.
So the Tottenham game is just a fluke.
I mean, look at Benjamin Mendy at left back. He won't really offer you much, especially to a team that knows how to sit back and defend and pounce on the counter. He's not the best left back you can use during a counter-attack situation. So it cost them. Clearly they addressed that situation as per the last game they played by not fielding him. So they won. I mean, titles without Mendy. So that I think was a fluke. And Sterling also wasn't really up to par that game. But on his good day, I mean, they have the depth, they have the quality players. They still can challenge any day.
Yeah, so now the counter question is, do City really need Hurricane?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. They
What?
need what's the name?
True striker.
Yes.
Number 9.
Yeah, someone who can create magic out of nothing. You can have a team which sits back. Okay, yes, I know they beat Norwich, but Norwich also defensive, they're not that good. But you see, even there are so many games where City were like in a fix until Aguero produces a moment of magic and all. So, yeah, they need a marquee signing at strike force, because Jesus is a backup. He's even a backup to Ferran Torres, who is not a striker.
Yeah, that's true. And Gabriel is missing big chances. is so high. Like I will compare him to Timo Werner. He just misses sitters to the point that you're not sure what is wrong, because you're like, he should be able to put that away. Yeah, you know, there are hard goals to score. You know, there are goals that some strikers score, and you're like, okay, yeah, brilliance. And there are goals that you're a striker, this is what you should do. The same way there are passes that if you're a number 10, somebody knows that should have gone to, let's say for Arsenal, Pepe. Isn't it? So, so apart from true number 9, a real number 9, is there any obvious weaknesses in this City team that title challengers Liverpool, Chelsea, and what is this other club, Manchester United, can exploit?
I will not talk about weaknesses, but I will talk on why, if they need Kane. And the truth is, I think clubs self-actualize, like Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. I think it gets to a point where they want Team A and Team B, like a full squad on either side, because there's no reason why De Bruyne was not playing for a full 90 minutes. It's just because they want him for maybe a bigger game or something. So I feel like that's where they are. It's not like they need, but they've self-actualized to a point where they want a solid Team A and a Team B that is just as solid as the Team A. In terms of weaknesses, I will talk about what Tuchel speaks of when he's asked if we are title contenders. And the truth is, we just want to narrow the gap in terms of points and get to Man City. So unfortunately for them, they lost a game on the first week. We didn't. Today, we have a chance to play against our London rivals. If we hit back and win, then we are better off than City. If we do that next week, 2 months from now, 6 months, then we're winners. But in terms of weaknesses, they should not be sloppy. Yeah.
So as far as as far as the team goes, there's no obvious weaknesses. It is just a balance of who has the better luck between the whoever is going to challenge. Better luck meaning there's just the off chance, like the first game, the way City lost. Yeah, you might get a team losing to a, let's say, those people mid-table team. So if you lose enough games and people win enough games and maximize on that loss, that is what is going to differentiate whoever wins this league.
City don't have a left back. City don't have a
Proper
left
left
back.
back.
Yeah, proper
Zinchenko.
left back. He's not a
He's
left
not
back.
a left back. But I think last season, which I think was also the problem in the final, and I was asking, was Zinchenko playing? Because I was wondering why he was in the final of the UCL. Because I know that I was looking at City's squad and I haven't been seen. I haven't been seeing Zinchenko. So Pep's decision making is also, I think that is a weakness for Man City.
Yeah.
Because he makes some decisions and you're just wondering, why this final? The final is when you're trying to experiment. Why not experiment the beginning stages and have a set way of playing? Isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think Pep is the weakness of Manchester City in terms of personnel and at least people that can hold positions. Yeah, I think they are well suited. Because after all, if they sign another left back for 50 million, it will be jokes at Manchester City.
He used to play Zinchenko in the Champions League, the rotating. But in the league, he wasn't playing.
Yeah, but
So that was probably that he used that as a means to just fill him in the final.
together with not playing a what? Recognized
CDM.
CDM.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Norwich was beaten by Manchester City 5-0. It was an expected result because I think Norwich are going down. What is there in opposition to Norwich going down? What is their redeeming grace that they cannot go down?
Maybe, I think maybe it's too early to judge.
Yeah.
They need to maybe get out of this run of difficult games so that we can now know. Because honestly, Liverpool and Man City is not the best of start fixtures you'd wish to have in a season. Yeah.
So let's move to Liverpool played Burnley, isn't it?
Yes.
Liverpool, in terms of the title challengers, the hype around Liverpool is not as much as the hype is around, especially Manchester City and Chelsea.
And Manu.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
and Manchester United. The hype is not that much. Because also they haven't made any signings apart from Konate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from Konate. So Liverpool have got Van Dijk back. They are playing, what will I say? Is it the usual game? I'm not sure if it was the usual game on Sunday. Because I'm used to a lot of pressing from Liverpool. I'm saying it is more nuanced. But yeah, as a Liverpool fan, James,
Yes.
are you title challengers?
I believe we are. A proper test will come in the coming weekend with versus Chelsea, because now Chelsea is a defensive team. The first two games we are mostly in possession, and they were against teams which usually get vulnerable of inconsistent pressure in the final third. So Chelsea will be a defining game, but I'd love to have the situation which we have right now throughout the season. It's the same way Leicester last season were. They were actually comfortable. If you don't have the hype or the pressure of being the contenders. So if you have maybe if you have a result which you've grinded out, people don't give your team pressure. As long as you're getting results, it's okay. So we are challengers, but we are non-favorites. That's what I can say.
Yeah, you're not favorites for it.
Yeah.
I can also say that, but Liverpool will push any team that comes to Anfield now that they have fans. So is Van Dijk what you sorely missed last season that makes up for the losses that you had last season?
And Matip as well.
And Matip?
Yeah. There's the element of game reading, which I felt, towards the end of the season we used to play Phillips and Williams. Williams was prone to mistakes and wasn't as fast as Van Dijk is. Then aerial superiority and the diagonal passes. That's why we've included Matip as well, because Matip does the switch to Mane and Van Dijk does the switch to Trent or Salah. And that one, it eliminates the need for a really strong midfield. So I think even people like Keita will have enough time to adjust to the system, as compared to last season where everything had to go through either Thiago, Fabinho and Wijnaldum to the strikers. Last season we were playing more central. That's why even Trent and Robertson didn't have many assists.
So, Klopp, your manager, do you believe he's getting a versatility in the way that he thinks, or do you believe you're going to play the same static football that you believe? Not really static, but it is a defined game.
It's a defined game.
Yeah.
Club is not versatile.
So there will be no changes.
I don't think so. There was a proposal we'll be playing three at the back, but I don't feel like it will happen. I even feel like Konate will play maybe towards November or something, like all our new signings do. Unless we get an injury to our first choice centre backs.
First centre back. So it is creation from the wings with the opportunity of Salah or Mane scoring.
Yes, and distribution. Long ball from the defense or wing play. That's it. With high pressure, when on rebounds and all, on a back header, clearance header, bad one, you find a place there.
Yeah. So everybody else, thoughts on Liverpool? They have won their first two games, so they are maximizing whatever is in front of them. So they have a challenge against Chelsea, true, but by the way, we can talk about that. Chelsea, Liverpool. Outcomes, what do you believe where the battles will the battles be in those two teams?
In terms of the game or the season?
In the game that you are getting next week.
I think it's a hot game. I mean, crucial for the first 6 games that we have as Chelsea. But open play, I will be surprised with an over 2.5. Yeah. In this case, because unless it's in our favor, but I'd still be surprised because what Tuchel brought into the team is defense and defense and defense. So I honestly think the teams that get to score Chelsea should, those are proper teams. Like they've done some good work. So, in terms of open play, I think set pieces and unfortunate events like maybe a red card or a goal so early in the game, like maybe the first 10 minutes kind of set that. But such things. But it will be,
It will be competitive match.
very competitive.
It will
Probably a draw will be nice for either
so
team.
it wouldn't be boring. Yeah.
No.
So me personally, in my view, I believe Liverpool are at the strength that they were at before they had too many injuries, which I will call it that is a fluke season. You cannot say like the thing that was going last season to the worst title defenders. But you see, they had just a fluke. You get Gomez brings a better game, then Gomez gets injured, then the other person comes gets injured. So I think they are at par with any top team. With any top team, my problem now is, will Mane, Jota, or Firmino pull their weight, or will it be another Salah type of a season?
No, these guys are serious. Jota wants to be in the team for good. Like last season, you knew that there is Diogo Jota, but in the way he was good at Wolves. But this season, I feel like he has an impact and a part to play, and the coach knows that. So Mane is also on the sidelines. Like you could see the goal that Firmino scored. Mane wanted to score that goal, as in he's hungry for the goals. Yesterday, as we watched, he had 3 attempts on goal, and we were like, it's coming, and surely it came. So it's not a Salah season, unless of course his prowess and magic, the kind of shots he does sometimes that are just stunning.
Yeah, but we know Salah, for better or for worse, whether he's loved or not, he produces for his team, misses or no misses. The thing is, we require Jota, and at Liverpool require Jota and Mane to prop up, to whatever. But like unlike last season, I think Mane was, low on confidence or something. He just wasn't playing well. This season, even in the preseason, he's back, as you said, with the hunger, and also I think he's also confident. You can see he's demanding the ball and he's putting himself in more attacking positions. Because last season, when we spoke, I was telling people, as much as Salah might be somebody that is missing, but he's always the person that is getting the ball in the goal scoring positions. So whether he misses it, he's the only one that can get the ball and attempt to score.
Also, the fixture is also a fixture tight, okay, how can I say it? Small mistakes will cost you. And if there's a team that can bring
Chelsea, Liverpool.
Yeah, that fixture. A single mistake can cost you. And if there's a team that can bring out a mistake in you, there is Liverpool on its day. How it presses and how they switch, how they do this, and people who bounce on errors, the likes of Jota and also Mane. So I think the odds, in my opinion, are on Liverpool's side, because they are the ones, as per how now they are playing, how they normally used to play. They press you properly, and also if I look at the defense of Chelsea, there is maybe one or two errors in them, or maybe the midfield. You never know.
If Chalaba will play, maybe he's the person that when he gets real opposition, he will crack.
Yeah.
I don't know. But since he's in Tuchel's plan, we will see. But for me, I don't think personally Liverpool require any more signings. In midfield, I think there's even an overload of midfielders. If you can call them, if they're not injured, there's an overload. So the only thing that, and they have gotten backup centre backs, even. And the only person that I don't think has a backup is Trent. Is there a backup for Trent?
A youngster, but he's not really top level. Williams.
Yeah.
Williams.
But if that is addressed now, Liverpool has got depth, and also you don't have a replacement for Salah, but you have somebody that can cover for Salah.
Yeah.
Who?
Elliot.
Even no, we have many wingers. We have Mane can shape to the right. Then you have Shaqiri in the game.
Kiri hasn't left.
Not yet.
No.
Then you can also do Jota on the wing, Mane right wing, so Firmino striker.
So at least it is balanced that even the problem with Liverpool last season wasn't the front, it was the back. So if they can cover that, and they with the new centre backs that they have that came out last season, I think they have covered their defensive line. Even right now, second, the backup to Robertson is playing, and you see like he has a hunger.
Yeah, for the game.
Yeah, he has a hunger for the game. Yeah, though we talked about this game, it's happening today in the evening. Today being Sunday, we can still talk Arsenal Chelsea. I'm still not happy. Still not happy with Arteta. You cannot convince me otherwise for Arteta.
Top spender.
Yeah, because even you see the problem is not money. I was saying in terms of net purchase, we are like number 3. Net being that the people that we have sold and the people that have bought, there is that balance that we are remaining with. We are number 3, the only people that we have beaten. Imagine with all the spending Chelsea have done, they have been beaten only by the 2 Manchester clubs.
Chelsea sells.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but on
it's
6.
sells.
Yeah, but you see that is the balance.
Yeah, we fail. We as of me as an Arsenal fan, as we fail to, release our player. We find it hard. People don't want to buy our players. Also, our players are on high wages.
Yeah,
So it's difficult. That's why us spending, I will spend a lot. Net wise, we'll be up among the best. But disposing of players is hard. It's proven difficult even during this window. People can't match the wages. We have to terminate contracts now. It's that difficult. So I can understand.
you can understand the
situation.
difficulty.
Yeah,
The difficulty. But now let's see. Okay, let's say Aubameyang, for some reason, because he has been training, we have now a natural striker, focal point that we do not have in Balogun. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's the worst, but he's still a youngster.
Yeah.
So in this game, we know Lukaku is going to play. There is no way Lukaku is not playing.
Yeah, that is confirmed.
Yeah, Lukaku is playing, but he faces Ben White.
Bennett is not playing.
Yeah, Ben White is not playing.
I think he contracted COVID. So that's another situation.
Sorry. Yes, sincerely.
Okay, Chambers.
But Holding at least is back.
Holding, yeah. I
He
forgot it.
performs at least versus Chelsea.
What is he holding today?
On clean sheet.
Yeah, so, well, in terms of combative type of play, I think at least Nani can head the ball. Yeah, but our problem is distribution might be very off, which is why we bought White, because of his distribution, not 100% is defensive. Defensive for White, ground duels is good. Aerial cannot. So if Arsenal is attacked from his side, aerial duels, he's most probably going to lose. But I think that is more because we don't have somebody that is aggressive on the way Van Dijk is at Liverpool. Yeah, but honest opinion, Arsenal fan.
Okay.
Yeah, are we? I'm also as an Arsenal fan. Are we winning?
Are we winning?
Let's say on paper, because we cannot
On
discuss
paper,
on
yeah.
in game.
On paper, we can. If you add the 12th player, the fans.
Who's playing now?
Arsenal. The youngsters are hungry. The previous game where we lost to Brentford, the second half was much better when we introduced Saka. So Saka brings in that quality that we miss, that imbalance that we couldn't find in Martinelli, who wasn't that. I can't say Martinelli because he has played very few games. Even when he went to the Olympics, he played only 1 game as a substitute. So he wasn't that sharp. He only had, I don't think even he had more than 1 preseason game. So in terms of quality, I think at this point Saka is much better. So fielding Saka, I think will be a positive for us.
Saka wing.
Saka on the wing. Also having Smith Rowe, he was the only player who I saw played well.
Yeah,
in the
true.
Brentford game. If Martinelli will play, I don't know. I don't understand what the coach is thinking, but prefer him starting Aubameyang if he's fit. If he's not fit, then I'll understand Martinelli starting. But I don't want to see Balogun this time. He won't handle. If he couldn't handle Brentford, he can't handle Chelsea. The midfield, I'm impressed with Lokonga. Watch out for that guy. And also, if he's paired with Shaka, that's at least a proper midfield to begin with. But I think the coach might put a back three this time, just for security purposes, because now the defense is a bit, there's no Ben White at the moment, and Gabriel is not back, so I think he might use that and use Tavares as the wing back.
Yeah.
So I think with that tactic, it might work against Chelsea, who with their formation.
We will match their formation.
Yeah, like in terms of intensity, of course Chelsea will have. The only thing that might make us not perform well, if we fail to pass through the middle and errors. Apart from that, we actually have a good game. If you watch the preseason game we played against Chelsea, we actually had a good game. The problem was when we pressed high, they were quick to counter us. Yeah, they just kicked the ball over behind our defense, and our defense wasn't that fast. Actually, we don't have a fast defense with Holding and Murray. You had Chambers. But when we have the possession and all, yes, if they sit back, it will be difficult because we don't have that proper creativity. But we'll still attack them. We attacked them quite a lot that game in the preseason.
Will it be clinical?
It depends on Obama.
20 shots, no goal.
Depends on Obama. On his day, he'll do his job.
Or Saka, or Smith Rowe, or Pepe. Yeah, but that is a biased Arsenal opinion. Chelsea opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kindly ask the question.
Yeah. How do you see yourself performing? Is this the late kickoff? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I feel like the performance is going to be amazing. I expect nothing but that. And this is because I believe in Tuchel's tactics. And last game, I feel like this is also godsend in terms of Arsenal's view. I feel like we're going to... The best that can come out of that is a draw. And you should be very lucky because it's a nice game for you to meet a serious club, like good play, so that henceforth you can train with such intensity and look at football differently. But I'm sure we're going to give you a good game and we're going to win. The only thing that you can get out of that is a point. And you see, there is a notion that you have cluttered your mind with, that you beat Chelsea, and
It's not a notion, statistical fact.
If you check the facts, you'll see.
Yeah, but tell us, where are you going to beat
Even at
Arsenal
our worst, we perform
now
against
that
Chelsea.
you're better or you're well equipped? Because we did beat you twice last season.
yeah.
So,
Before.
so I'm saying now,
Yeah.
having that backdrop,
Okay.
with a better team that you on paper you have,
Yeah.
in which, since we are going to match your formation apparently from the manager's point of view,
Okay.
the battles you're winning in which areas are you going to beat us?
Okay. First, let me say, if you listen keenly,
Yeah.
I believe in Tuchel's tactics,
Yeah.
and that's why we're going to beat you. Because not the preseason game, but the last game we had last season,
Yeah.
you sat back. You did exactly what Chelsea do.
Yeah.
So I expect Arteta, because of course it's benchmarking and learning from the best. So that's what I hope he'll try and copy a big team like Chelsea, and that's why we'll thrash you.
You'll thrash us because you're a big team like Chelsea.
No, you see, you
Yeah,
benchmarked.
you are a big team like Chelsea, so you're going to win.
Oh yes,
So on done deal. There's no. It doesn't. Even if you play minus Lukaku, you're still beating us.
No, we are playing Lukaku.
So that is a tactical decision, and you have said you believe in his tactical decisions.
Yeah,
He
and
decides.
he will put. No, he said. You see, I listened to the press conference, and he said Lukaku
I'm
is
giving you a
starting.
hypothetical because
No,
because if he gets COVID,
And you see, fortunately, we are talking about 3 hours from now. So
As of this recording.
yes, as of this recording. So he's playing, hopefully. The truth is, the best you can get out of this is 1 point, and you will be very glad to have that. Otherwise, this notion of
it's not a
Arsenal,
notion.
that is
Statistical fact.
You see, that was without Tuchel.
No,
We beat Tuchel in the second leg,
You see, he had just come, as in,
but he won the
And
Champions
if,
League.
If you remember
But
the
anyway-
goal that you conceded,
yeah,
it was out of the press that we gave you guys. It is not just a fluke. It is a tactic that it's something that Arteta has drilled into the squad.
yeah,
We forced errors into your team.
yeah. That's the game I'm talking about.
Yes,
you
yeah,
you
that's
sat back.
Yeah, we forced an error.
Yeah. Which
and we
is
sat
nice.
back.
You see, you benchmarked Chelsea's play and it
No,
worked.
it's not
We beat you. We did not benchmark.
We forced errors to.
How can we benchmark a team we are beating?
No, it's exactly. You've just alluded to the fact that you played as Chelsea plays. You sat back.
Yeah, we sat
Yeah.
back. I'm not
What?
going to lie.
That's a nice benchmark.
But it's a tactic of the game.
As Chelsea.
So
plays.
everybody can learn.
Yeah.
So we
Which
beat
is
you at
nice.
your own game.
So if we press at
And
Liverpool,
that's what I'm saying.
benchmark in Liverpool.
You see, we were having a nice gentleman's conversation. Relax, okay?
It's okay.
Yeah, just relax. And I have said we are going to thrash you if he tries to copy us again. That's what I just said, right? If,
Yeah.
We sit back.
if you copy us now, probably he now knows how we are playing. Okay.
Yeah.
If you try to do that today, you're going to be thrashed by Chelsea.
Okay, let me just comment one last time. Whenever we use your tactic under Arteta, it works to our favor
Okay.
against any opponent.
Yes.
That's how we even won the FA using that formation.
Yeah. That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
That's a nice
So
thing.
if
for
we use
yeah.
it, to be honest, there's no chance for you guys. If we couldn't do it with Arteta last season with a poor squad,
Yeah.
even right now, I doubt whether you can do it, especially with the fans at home.
Yeah.
It will be difficult for you. That's my opinion.
It's a nice
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. So on paper,
For me, I believe
yeah,
if Arsenal are to get a point, it will be through Marcos Alonso's side. That is it.
if he starts,
No, he's starting.
That side. If whoever plays on that side. Okay, if they utilize the left back side of Chelsea or Arsenal's right wing, that's why they can get a point from the game. And that's why I even believe in Liverpool versus Chelsea. That's where we'll play from.
okay. So on paper, at the very least, yeah, I don't think that game, being a London derby, it won't be a boring game. Yeah, somebody has to be thrashed, and somebody has to do the thrashing. Yeah? At 6, we shall know who's going to be thrashed and who's doing the thrashing. So, before we go to predictions for the next game week, we have 3 players in the Premier League that are top players as far as statistics goes, isn't it? Yeah, we have Mohamed Salah for Liverpool. Yeah, we have Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, we have Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United, and we have Kevin De Bruyne for Manchester City. My question is, all things on the table, stats the way you perceive him as a fan. Which players? I'll start with Ian. Which player is the best among them, and who do you believe is overrated?
For me, I think KDB is the best because of his consistency, even on club and on national level. National level. Yeah, for his team. Yeah. So KDB is the best from the 3. Then a close
Second.
second from De Bruyne, then Salah. Not De Bruyne. Fernandes, then Salah. Because Fernandes of how his role in the club, you see if Manchester United doesn't play or it doesn't. If he doesn't play well for Manchester United, the team also doesn't play well. Yeah. So he's number 2 because for me because of his role in the club. Yeah.
So let me caveat it. 2 seasons, De Bruyne has been injured, a lot injured without consistent match fitness. Compared with the 1 season and a half that Fernandes has. If we compare those statistics,
Yeah.
who will come on top of the other? Putting aside that
Of
Manchester
course.
City won because Manchester City won, but player for player.
Now, with your perspective now, when you have brought that scenario, and this guy from Manchester is called. Oh, Fernandes. Fernandes is top because of the stats which he has kept for those two. Regarding De Bruyne was injured, yeah, and Fernandes was not injured.
Okay. So you are saying De Bruyne is the best overall.
Yeah, overall, yeah.
Yeah, but you can only base his comparison to Fernandes on 1.5 season for Fernandes, isn't it?
Yeah. But he was the best, but I didn't agree with the PFA when he was given the
Last season,
it was
I did not
unfair.
agree.
Yeah.
But overrated from the 3.
No one is overrated.
Everybody performs to their best.
Everyone performs to their to their best. No one is overrated.
Okay. Let's ask Chelsea fan because you don't have a representative there,
Unfortunately.
But
I believe I'd go with De Bruyne. Yeah,
he's the best overall.
De Bruyne is the best. And I feel like I want to say no one is overrated, but I think there should be that part. It was a nice question.
In your opinion.
Yeah, because Fernandes is good. Like, I mean, the goals he scored last weekend, that's quality. As in, that's what I am seeing in other top strikers. That's what I'm seeing in Kane, in Haaland. As in, there's a lot of power and precision, and it's a volley. Like, you don't just see that. I don't think he's overrated. Except now when we're talking about the player of the season. But he's good. If I'm supposed to answer your question and get maybe 1 million, I will say Fernandes is overrated because I want the million. But Salah is good. He's fast, as in.
Let's also caveat this. You have said you're comparing with 2.5 seasons. For if you compare every player against Fernandes, but also in big games, doesn't Fernandes have a tendency to get lost?
Yeah, he does, but I think he hasn't settled well last season. This season is going to be different.
Can we say in the games that he disappeared? Those are the games that Manchester United lost their ground to City in the.
It is.
Yeah, so that I'm adding context to the discussion. So.
Okay, 1 million shillings. Fernandes overrated. De Bruyne perfect, and Salah is good.
Okay, so let's do Arsenal because there's a Liverpool fan that might have vested interests. We'll finish with him. So Ted.
Yes.
De Bruyne, Fernandes, Mo Salah. Let me now caveat Mo Salah. Last season, the amount of chances he was missing, though he only lost to Hurricane by 1 goal, was so much. There are things in the mold of one missing that he was missing. Especially the game against Leipzig, that if I remember correctly, though he scored in that game, they were just sitters that he missed. So he has got a tendency. How can I put it? In a team that does not create as much chances as Liverpool create, would Mo Salah be in this conversation?
I was actually going to use that method where if I was to switch the players and put them in a respective team, will they still perform? Will they be? Of course, they would all start.
You put them in different teams.
Like if Salah was to go to City or Man United, even De Bruyne was to go to Man United, would he perform? And by that logic, I'll have to say De Bruyne is the best, first of all. He'll perform everywhere. Put him anywhere, even if you put him as a striker. Like in those positions where Salah is supposed to finish, if you put De Bruyne, I have my faith in De Bruyne finishing them at yeah, but I think maybe just the penalties are where De Bruyne is being edged out by the rest. But overall play, decision making, accuracy, positioning, pressing, what it contributes to the game, De Bruyne is up there, both club and country. After that, I'm torn between Salah and Bruno, but I don't know. I want to give Salah the second, then Bruno the last. Salah has been proving it. He's still lethal. He's still that, it's hard to contain Salah. I think it's very hard. Bruno, you can contain him. That's why the games is lost. Salah, he'll just be a threat to your defense.
Constantly.
Constantly, yeah. He might miss chances, but he'll still be very influential to that game. He'll bring out something out of the game still. Yeah.
So, personally, I believe there's De Bruyne is the best, but I believe there's a overhype in the times that he has been good. He's always good. Yeah, there's an overhypement of De Bruyne. Yeah. So, but in terms of all-round play, De Bruyne always takes the cake. All-round play. He can score for you in hard times. He creates. Yeah. When he's fit, he creates those chances. So I believe as an all-round player, I will go for De Bruyne as the best and proven winner, well, at least of the Premier League and FA Cup and all those things. In the international and UEFA Champions League, there's a profound problem that I believe is more the manager than the player. So me personally, Mo Salah, based on just statistically proving himself, yeah, I believe Salah will put him in front of Fernandes because even last season, though he missed those chances that I was caveating him with, he still produced. His goals are part and parcel to why Liverpool finished in that top four, isn't it? So overrated, I would say in the last 2 seasons that Nani has had a lot of injuries. De Bruyne is overrated because I don't understand how De Bruyne won PFA Player of the Season last season. On what grounds? On what grounds? Even if not De Bruyne, Harry Kane then. Harry Kane had the most goals and the most assists, isn't it? If you need a midfielder, then Bruno Fernandes. He had more goals from his midfield position, isn't it? So that's why I'm saying overrated. There is no reason that he won. Yeah? Other than the only reason that can work for me is because City won. Somebody from City had to win. But if somebody from City had to win, Gundogan had more goals than De Bruyne. Yeah, I think 12. High scorer. So last 2 seasons, there's an overration of Gundogan. 12. Yeah, so I'm saying in those 2 seasons overrated, but all round, if he becomes fit this season, he will produce whatever we know he can produce. But in the 2 seasons that he hasn't been that consistent and City have still won. Yeah, I think as far, but I can say if you remove De Bruyne from City, City doesn't lose that much in a competitive edge. But if you remove De Bruyne and Salah from their respective teams, a lot of attacking intent is lost in those teams. Yeah.
Now, the discussion, okay, there's an element of which I feel is not in order because two of the players are number 10s.
Yeah.
And one receives the chances, the other 2 create. As much as the other 2 create, they also get chances. So I won't compare the 3 of them. Maybe you can do an argument of Salah and some other maybe wingers or strikers. I even feel like he should be classified as a striker. Now the other 2, okay, Bruno creates. I think he has more XG. He creates more chances. I think it's XP, yeah. He creates more expected clear-cut chances than De Bruyne, but of late with City's play, De Bruyne is more of an 8 than a 10
Yeah.
because they usually have De Bruyne and maybe Foden. So for me, technically, because I've seen De Bruyne in a smaller team, which was Wolfsburg,
Yeah.
and he was still as lethal as ever. So for me, I feel he's technically more adept
Yeah.
than Fernandes, but Fernandes, for him, I think Fernandes is better at set pieces. But creation of chances, the lob pass is Fernandes, the crosses and through balls is is De Bruyne. Shots from range is De Bruyne. And De Bruyne offers defensive support. So I'd go for De Bruyne then Fernandes. Salah sasa. Salah, if you categorize him, okay, he is world class, but he's not the typical world class player. I think we even had this discussion yesterday. We were saying even Muller, like what makes Muller a good player is his positional awareness
Yeah.
and his work rate to get to those positions. Even Sterling is actually very good. See, in yesterday's game with Norwich, that the City were doing so many of those crosses and they were either landing to Hanley from Norwich or the keeper. Even the OG came the same way. But when Sterling came in, he even scored a tap in, I think, within 5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So Salah is, in a tactically arranged squad, is good.
Yeah.
And he has his moments of magic, but it's too wasteful.
Yeah. Wasteful. True.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we can just conclude there is no overrated player
There's no version in that bracket.
in that bracket. Yeah. So let's finish. Let's round it off with the top 6 matches in round 3, match day 3 of the Premier League. So early kickoff is Manchester City versus Arsenal. Yeah? Just give the predictions. What are your predictions? Me, I believe it will be 4-0 against Arsenal. It's just the truth. Fun or no fun, that's the truth. Yeah, so, Stuart.
Yes, I have appeared out of nowhere
Yeah.
to come and spill demise for Arsenal. Yes, I am predicting 5-0.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish will not score because he's very overrated.
It's not overrated, but it's okay. Yeah, Wilson.
I predict that at best, I like to give Arsenal slack, to cut some slack. And the truth is, because Chelsea are going to thrash you well, I feel like you're going to go to the training ground having met a serious club, and so it's possible that you can hold 1 point for us. 1 for the team. I'd be happy. That would be the best outcome. But we all know it's what we wish. But that's at least over 2.5 City. But if we thrash you well, I'm sure you can try and train. If we thrash you well, mark my words. If we don't, if it's just 1-0, you'll be beaten. But if we thrash you well, you can have a draw.
It's funny how you have changed Man City Arsenal to be Chelsea related.
Because it's
It's okay, I understand. So, Ian, Man City Arsenal.
GG, but Arsenal will lose.
By how many goals? By how many goals will Arsenal lose?
Maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
Ikienda sana ta.
Yes. Ted,
Yes.
Arsenal fan. Yeah. What are your prediction?
I won't lie to you. This one we are losing. Man City, they are too powerful for us. Too powerful. That's
No
it.
ways.
I know our potential with our team, the squad we have, but to be honest, against Man City at home, City at home,
Yeah, City at home.
and it's an early kickoff. Okay, it being an early kickoff, that is where the magic happens. But I'm not.
You've got hope.
That's what my only hope is on the early
Yeah.
kickoff.
Then give us the prediction with your
scoreline.
hope. Yeah.
Lost.
A 2-0 win for City.
Yeah. Liverpool fan.
Yes.
Manchester City, Arsenal.
3-1 City.
Yeah, then we move to, I think the next top club is Liverpool, Chelsea. For me, I think Liverpool will nick it 3-2.
Yes.
3-2, wait. Defensively, maybe 1-0. Whoever is going to win of either club, but I'm going Liverpool 1-0.
As it is no secret, I do not like Lukaku. So for that sole reason, I am going for Liverpool win.
Not
And
because
Lukaku to do something stupid.
not because the teams are tactical.
No.
Because you hate. It's okay. Wilson.
If only our merits were based on liking and disliking. But I believe the best outcome will be a draw for Liverpool. And the best outcome for us will be a 1-0. Because, as I have said, any team that scores against Chelsea will have put in the work. Defensively, we're okay.
Okay.
For me, a draw will be a convincing result for me.
Scoreline.
2-2. Yeah.
So, Ted.
Okay. Liverpool are at home and the fans are there. Big factor, huge factor. Number two, the team is back. The Liverpool team is back. Just as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, a team that Liverpool will clean the errors out of you and they'll bounce on that. However, I don't think it will be a really enticing game. I think it will be just too close, a cautious game. So
Not too many goals scored.
not too many goals, but I'll give it to Liverpool. Maybe a 1-0. Yeah.
Liverpool fan. Liverpool, Chelsea.
Now, the result for me depends on two factors. One, if Fabinho will play how poor this weekend. So if Fabinho plays 2-0 Liverpool and will expose the left back of Chelsea. If he doesn't, a draw or a 1-0 to our side.
Okay. Tottenham, Watford. Tottenham, Watford. 3-0. Tottenham.
I want to say Tottenham, but Watford, they are very interesting to me.
They were beaten just yesterday.
That is yesterday. From what I saw in the conference leagues, Tottenham have potential, but they still don't have that spark. You could see what they were trying to do, but I don't know if it was because it was the second team or what, but I am going Watford here.
Scoreline.
Narrow win, 1-0.
Okay. Wilson.
Yeah. This has to be Tottenham. I feel like the confidence that they have and they will have, including today's game, is enough to motivate them to be 2-0.
I win for Tottenham, but a GG. Yeah.
Everything is GG with you.
GG, you have.
Okay.
Tottenham will win. Watford are like that. If based on the season we played against them, if we could thrash them 4-0, Watford, then Watford they're in for a big.
But pre-season is pre-season.
In its pre-season, but I didn't see that that scary thing about them.
Okay. So
I think 2-0.
Tottenham will lick it easy actually. 3.
3.
Yeah.
And finally, we have Stuart's team.
Yes.
Manchester United versus Wolves. Yeah? I think they are going to draw 1-1.
Continue thinking that. I am thinking 8 goals.
8 goals.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm thinking 8 goals.
8 goals with nothing in return.
Right now we have Varane. And with Varane, clean sheet. 8-0.
8-0.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's fine.
Clearly fantasy football.
Yeah.
But I would want a nice draw. That
Yeah,
would be nice.
true. So that
But if not,
the noise.
of course, I'd appreciate Wolves. I would love it if they won.
yeah,
I am sure they can't give Manchester United 8, but 1-0 is amazing. Amazing.
yeah, so that-
Especially if it's a set piece, a penalty, something that's, I mean,
Not
yeah,
controversial.
the noise.
so that the noise goes down.
Yeah,
I
you
understand.
see, it's the belief and the expectation that they have that kills them. We were having a very nice gentleman's talk here until
Manchester United was insulted.
I do winners.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Depending on Manchester United now are having they're on form and they have a good squad, so it will be an easy win for them. Even
Scoreline. Give
even
us
4-0,
scoreline.
even
4-0,
5
okay.
even.
Wolves at home, fans present. Wolves bring the boogie team to Manu, kawaida. I think Manu 2-1 to Wolves.
2-1 to Wolves, yeah? Yeah?
Okay, Jimenez is back,
Yeah.
and they have someone who can create chances in Trincao.
Yeah.
However, their defense is not so adept, so I'm looking at a narrow win Manu, but a GG 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1 Manu.
Yeah. So, that has been the Kicking It podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please go under and smash that subscribe button. Yeah? And please comment and like and share.